We are obsessed with the end. We fear our own mortality because we believe that death is the ultimate, final curtain, a permanent cessation of existence. We project this same fear onto the cosmos, imagining that when the last star burns out, the universe will simply rest in peace. But quantum physics and cosmology suggest a far more terrifying reality. What if death is not an escape? What if the universe dying is not a conclusion, but merely the violent resetting of a cosmic clock? What if the ultimate horror of the universe is not its death, but its forced immortality? Today, we are going to look beyond the end of time. We are going to explore 10 terrifying theories about what happens after our universe dies. And by the end of this video, you will realize that the void is not empty. And you may have already lived this exact nightmare a billion times before. Let us begin with the inevitable reversal. Theory number 1. The Big Crunch. Right now, the universe is expanding, driven by the mysterious force of dark energy. Galaxies are flying apart, but some physical models suggest this expansion is not infinite. Eventually, like a rubber band stretched to its absolute breaking point, the universe will snap back. Gravity, the most patient force in the cosmos, will finally win the tug-of-war. The expansion will slow, stop, and then reverse. This is the Big Crunch. Slowly at first, and then with terrifying speed, everything will begin to collapse inward. The night sky will grow impossibly bright as galaxies are dragged violently toward each other. Stars will collide, black holes will merge into supermassive monsters, and the temperature of the universe will skyrocket. The cosmic background radiation will literally cook the planets from the outside in. Eventually, all matter, all space, and all time will be crushed back down into a single, infinitely dense, microscopic point, a singularity. Every civilization, every monument, every memory that ever existed will be violently compressed into nothingness. The ultimate cosmic erasure. But what happens to that singularity? It cannot simply sit in the dark forever. This brings us to theory number 2. The Big Bounce. The laws of quantum mechanics suggest that you cannot compress matter infinitely. There is a limit. When the collapsing universe reaches this absolute quantum threshold, the pressure becomes so incomprehensibly massive that it violently repels itself. The Big Crunch reaches its bottom, and then it bounces. This bounce is what we call a Big Bang. In this theory, our universe did not begin from nothing. It began from the corpse of the universe that came before it. We are not a unique creation. We are merely the current expansion phase of a cosmic lung that has been breathing in and out for eternity. A Big Bang, followed by a Big Crunch, followed by another Big Bang, a never-ending heartbeat. And with every beat, a universe is born, struggles, dies, and is ground down into the fuel for the next one. We are trapped in an infinite cycle of cosmic reincarnation, where the universe is forced to suffer the violence of birth and death forever. However, a bounce requires a collapse. What if the universe just keeps expanding until it freezes? Theory number 3. Conformal cyclic cosmology. Proposed by Nobel laureate Roger Penrose, this theory looks at the absolute end of the universe, a state known as heat death. Trillions of years from now, when the last black holes have evaporated and all matter has decayed into basic radiation, the universe will be incredibly cold, unimaginably vast, and completely empty. There will be no mass left, only light, stretching across an infinite void. But here is the terrifying mathematical twist. In a universe with no mass, there is no physical way to measure time or space. Scale loses all meaning. To a photon of light, a universe that is infinitely large and completely empty is mathematically indistinguishable from a universe that is infinitely small and infinitely dense. The heat death of our universe is exactly identical to the singularity of a Big Bang. Penrose suggests that the end of our cosmic era, or aeon, perfectly seamlessly transitions into the explosive birth of the next. Our freezing, empty grave is literally the fiery womb of the next universe. The end is exactly the beginning, and there is no way out of the loop. Yet, the idea of a simple collapse and expansion might be too primitive. What if our universe is not a lone object, but a fragile surface floating in a higher dimension? This leads us to theory number 4, the ekpyrotic universe. Based on string theory, this model proposes that our three-dimensional universe is merely a brane, or a membrane, floating in a vast, hidden 11-dimensional spacetime. We are not alone. Another parallel membrane universe floats just a fraction of a millimeter away, but completely invisible to us. And these brains are not stationary. Every trillion years, driven by unseen forces, these two massive cosmic membranes drift together and violently collide. The interaction is not a big bang from a single point. It is a surface-to-surface scrape across an entire reality. This cosmic impact generates an incomprehensible amount of heat and radiation, instantly incinerating everything in both universes and resetting the clock. A new Big Bang, new stars, new galaxies, and new life, destined to develop and suffer, until the membranes drift back together for another violent encounter. In this theory, we are trapped in an eternal cosmic car crash, doomed to be destroyed and reborn with every scrap of dimensions we can never see. But perhaps the universe doesn't have to collide to reproduce. It might be able to create children from within. Theory number 5. Cosmic natural selection. Physicist Lee Smolin proposes a terrifying parasitic loop. Smolin suggests that when a massive star collapses into a black hole in our universe, the extreme gravity doesn't just crush matter into a single point. It rips the fabric of space-time apart. This rip forms a birth canal. The singularity inside that black hole does not sit in the dark. It explodes outward in a new dimension, creating its own Big Bang and a brand new baby universe on the other side. This theory suggests that our universe is merely a fertile breeding ground, and every black hole is a successful reproductive event, a cosmic seed. But here is the horror. Universes that are better at creating black holes produce more children. Over billions of iterations, the cosmos has literally evolved to make more black holes. The universe does not exist to support life. It exists to maximize the production of cosmic graveyards. Our universe is dying, yes, but its death is merely the inevitable decomposition required to spread its black hole seeds across a terrifying and infinite cosmic forest. We are just the temporary byproduct, the bacteria living on a rotting cosmic fruit. Yet, a black hole is a localized event, a controlled burn. What if the universe desires a complete, instantaneous, hard reset? Theory number 6. The false vacuum decay. This is the ultimate cosmic switch. The laws of physics are built upon a foundation of energy states. We have always assumed that the ground beneath our feet, the very vacuum of space, is at its absolute lowest, stable energy state. We are, essentially, living on the ground floor of reality. But many physicists suspect that we are not. Our universe might be trapped in a state of false vacuum. Imagine a ball resting in a shallow dip on top of a giant hill. It appears stable, but it is not at the absolute bottom. Quantum mechanics dictates that with enough time, anything that can happen will happen. Through a process called quantum tunneling, a single particle of space could, at any moment, suddenly slip. It would tunnel from our high-energy false vacuum to the lower, true minimum energy state. In an instant, a single, tiny bubble of true vacuum would appear somewhere in the cosmos. And this bubble would be incredibly aggressive. Expanding at the speed of light, it would relentlessly consume everything in its path. As the bubble boundary hits you, it doesn't just destroy you. It fundamentally rewrites the laws of physics. Water ceases to be wet. Light ceases to travel. Gravity ceases to pull. Matter simply ceases to be matter. The false vacuum decay is the hard reset. It is the tan yun vadutquat erasing of the previous system's code. You won't see it coming. You won't feel it. In 1 microsecond, you exist. In the next, the entire reality you knew is gone, replaced by something incompatible with life. The universe does not just die. It is instantly formatted. A clean disk, ready for a new, colder, and darker cosmic operating system. But what if the universe doesn't pop like a bubble? What if it is slowly, agonizingly tortured to death? Theory number 7. The phantom tear, or the Big Rip rebirth. Dark energy is currently pushing our universe apart. If this force continues to accelerate, it won't just push galaxies away from each other. It will begin to tear them apart from the inside out. Stars will be ripped from their orbits. Planets will be shredded. Eventually, the expansion will become so violent that it will tear apart the very molecular bonds holding your DNA together. Atoms will be shredded into subatomic dust. And finally, the fabric of space and time itself will be ripped open. The ultimate agonizing death. But in the extreme violence of the Big Rip, physics breaks down. At the microscopic edge of these phantom tears, the vacuum of space is stretched so violently that the sheer kinetic energy could spontaneously ignite localized Big Bangs. Millions of microscopic baby universes, born inside the gaping wounds of a murdered cosmos. Our violent shredding is the necessary incubation for a new, chaotic reality. What if the end is completely silent? Theory number 8. Quantum fluctuation from the grave. Let us return to the heat death, where the universe is completely cold, pitch black, and utterly dead. This state will last not for billions, but for a googolplex of years. A number so large it exceeds the total atoms in the observable universe. It is a waiting game of absolute despair, but in quantum mechanics, absolute nothingness is impossible. The void constantly boils with virtual particles popping in and out of existence. Given an infinite amount of time in this dead, freezing graveyard, probability dictates that a massive quantum fluctuation is not just possible, it is a mathematical certainty. A random, completely spontaneous drop in entropy will occur, instantly generating a massive influx of energy out of absolutely nowhere. A new Big Bang, spontaneously resurrecting itself from the silent void. The universe does not need a creator to be reborn. It only needs the sheer, terrifying patience of infinity. It will wait in the dark until it is forced to live again. Yet, perhaps we are thinking too physically. What if reality is merely a storage device? Theory number 9. The holographic reboot.